Hey, Brandon here with your weekly update.
Holy cow, I forgot to mention Songs of the Dead is out today. I thought it was next week.
I am back from London and Oxford. It was exhausting, but wonderful. We have some nice things up on the channel that you can check out. I think my speech at MCM went live, and so I do a reading there from something that I think you'll find very interesting. And I just had a blast. Thank you to everyone in the UK for treating me so well. But now that I'm back, I am back at work, and so I can say the Mistborn screenplay is at bing
83%.
Inching up 3 more percentage points. Goal is to turn that in sometime in July. So Riftwake Draft 3 is at bing 33%. And Songrise 4.0 is at bing 50%. So that's good because the first of the Skyward sequel series is going to be coming out later this year. And those are the other 2 books in it. So everything's just moving along. Things are great. So I have a decent number of announcements for you because I've been gone for a while. And I know Kara came in and pitch hit for me last week, but they've saved some things for me to talk to you about. So first thing is some Nexus news. So we are playing around with how we are trying to do things like the World Hopper Ball. The World Hopper Ball is very expensive, and we want to try a different, more affordable option. So we're trying this year, instead of the World Hopper Ball, we are trying something we're calling Nexus By Night, which is a one-night after party. So instead of a small a couple hundred people we could have go through the World Hopper Ball at each given instance of it. So we had a bunch of different instances. We're just going to have one night. We're in the big room. We have a DJ and we have dancing and we encourage cosplay, some gaming areas, an expanded age range, a longer come and go atmosphere so you can kind of show up and leave. And then there will be food and beverage available for purchase separately. So the price is $75. You need 1 per badge to attend. Give that a look if you're interested in giving it a try. I will be there, and a lot of the members of the Dragonsteel team will be there as well. A little bit of Lightweaver news, then we'll be back to talk about Nexus in a minute. Lightweaver, which is my charity, is doing a fundraiser at the Compass Gallery. This is Saturday, June 27th, 6:30 to 10 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time at the Compass Gallery in Provo. We've got in-person and live stream options available. So what is this? So we've done one of these before. We have live portrait painting featuring Howard Lyon, Steve Argyle, Esther H. Kandare. She did the Isles of the Emberdark Dragonsteel edition, and Rose Datlock Dahl. They're going to be painting Cosmere cosplayers in real time. So all the proceeds go to Lightweaver. Tickets are $45 for a single, $75 for a double. Live stream is pay what you want. And they're going to be doing all sorts of cool, they usually do kind of Q&As. They explain what they're doing, why they're doing it. But then we've got the cool cosplayers, and we'll have Jackson Dickert there, probably in persona as Hoyd. There'll be some live music, interactive activities, and some refreshments. So they do request you leave large props like shard blades at home. But otherwise, this is a fun time. It's nice. It's all for charity. And so the live stream tickets close June 26th. Grab them at the compassgallery.com before they sell out. And again, those ones are pay what you want. So a couple shout outs for some Kickstarters. So Will White's final Cradle Kickstarter has started. He's got a fun video. You should go check it out. He's a great guy. And we always like to shout out when fantasy sci-fi friends of ours are doing Kickstarters for their books. I still believe a lot in kind of the direct-to-consumer platform that crowdfunding offers us. So I have also nothing to do with this next one, which is a Wheel of Time war game. Not involved, but it's being done by Direwolf. So there's a Kickstarter for the Wheel of Time war game. And Direwolf, who's doing it, is a reputable company. They've done some really cool things like Dune Imperium and whatnot, and they've done some digital versions of some of the games that I've played. I played a lot of their Sagrada, which is on digital. It's a nice port from the dice building game. Anyway, Sagrada's a fun game. And so the fact that Direwolf's involved gives me more confidence in it. So we thought we'd give it a shout out. They're good folks over there, and they've worked a lot with Brotherwise on various things. So we like them. We like the Wheel of Time. So hopefully this will all go pretty well for them. So here's a big one. You might have heard buzz about this online. The Salt Palace, which is where we hold Nexus, is shutting down. They're doing a big construction project downtown Salt Lake. They're going to be down 2027 through 2030, which means we won't be able to use it next year or many of the years following. We hope to be back in 2031, which should be Stormlight 6. So what are we going to do? Salt Palace is really the only venue in Utah capable of holding Dragonsteel Nexus. Well, fortunately, we had heads up this was happening. We didn't know it was happening next year. We thought it was happening the year after, but we did get a heads up. So our events team spent the last few years going to a lot of different locations, scouting them out, and trying to find a place that we could go for Nexus. And so we are announcing right now that Nexus 2027 is going to be in Denver, Colorado. Why Denver, Colorado? Well, we went to all the different places, and it's a mix of things, but one of the really key ideas for us was finding a place that's affordable for our fans. A lot of the other places we were looking at, the hotel rooms were just super expensive. Travel's getting really expensive. We really like the venue in Denver. The convention hall is great. I've been to conventions in that convention hall, and it's a really good convention hall. Plus, the availability of hotels and flights and things when we were looking at what it would cost you was in many cases half some of the other places we were looking at. So we ended up deciding on Colorado. So we are going to be in Colorado for the next few years. Theoretically, it could change. There could be one of them that we go somewhere else in, but you should expect in general, we're going to be in Colorado through 2030. We're looking forward to it. We're looking forward to trying this new venue out. We will be back in Salt Lake eventually, but what we found is for Nexus, about 70% of the attendees come from out of state. So this shouldn't affect most of you very much. It should be about as easy to get to Denver. For some of you, it's going to be a little easier. We are also going to be able to play around with how many tickets we can offer. The venue in Denver is a little bit bigger, so we might not have quite as much a crunch on the ticketing. And so we're going to try out having a no cap on tickets for the initial sale period. We'll see how that goes. We want Nexus to remain small enough that it has a small sort of feel, but we know how many people are in those pre-orders, and we were able to get 75% of you in the Salt Palace, so we're figuring if we have this larger space, we can add those extra 25% of you. So we're going to try not capping tickets for this next year. So be aware of that next year. Again, if it gets too big, we will cap it again, even at this location. Part of the feel of Nexus is just, we don't want you shoulder to shoulder like a lot of Comic Cons are. We want you to have breathing room and space, but this venue is very large. So we don't feel we'll have that problem. So we're excited to welcome more people to be able to come to Nexus. We just wanted to announce this early so that you could be planning. I know this is 18 months away. So this is a lot of heads up and forewarning, but that's what we wanted to make sure that that people would just be able to plan for that for the next couple of years. So remember, this is not for this year, 2026. This is for next year, 2027, and many of the years in between. There might be one year where we do it somewhere else. We haven't decided yet, but the majority of 27, 28, 29, and 30 are going to be in Denver, probably at least 3 of the 4 years. Well, thank you all for hanging out with me. Thank you again to everyone that showed me a great time in the UK. I will be back next week with another weekly update.